And on this edition of the Axe, the question on everybody's mind: what is the Quinto Encuentro? I'm here outside of DePaul College Prep here on California Avenue, close to Addison. We just got through with the Archdiocesan Quinto Encuentro, where different things were discussed, how to be missionary disciples here and now in 2018. And it was a pretty far-reaching experience, even though the focus of it was among the Hispanic community. There was a large number of youth here, and I spent most of the day, I was kind of broken out into the youth group there, the 18 to 35. And it was really very enlightening. Cardinal Supich came, he gave the closing mass and had a question and answer time with the young people. And I'll be giving more reflections on this. My initial kind of gut reaction to this was a lot of hope. The Gen Xers get a bad rap in a lot of ways. There's a lot of kind of scorn that's heaped upon them as being kind of lazy and not wanting to make commitments and not really having focus in life. And what I saw were young people who love the Lord, who want to grow in the Lord, who really do want mentorship. That was a big thing that really came through. These young people that wanted to be accompanied, wanted to be shown the way to Christ. And they are looking to the clergy, but also to all the really adult leaders to help them along with that. So I'll have more to say about that, but just wanted to check in quick and give you my kind of quick gut feeling. And it's been a few days now since we did have that Quinto Encuentro over at DePaul Prep. And if you sat through that little opening here and you're still confused, what is a Quinto Encuentro? Well, first off, thank you for still watching and not giving up on the video. But then you'll know a little bit of what my confusion was when this was first presented to me by the members of our Pastoral Migratoria group here in the parish. Pastoral Migratoria is an office here in the Archdiocese that deals with the concerns of the migrant community and in a very particular way with the Latino community here in the Archdiocese. And I thought, okay, I'm the American pastor, maybe I'm just kind of out of it. But then we presented this to the wider parish council, and even they were kind of like, huh, Quinto what? And Quinto que is probably more what they were saying. A little explanation was needed for me, and really a little explanation was needed for everybody. Since about 1973, there have been 4 of these encuentros, these kind of meetings. They kind of are almost like a congress, or if those of you may be familiar with religious life, like a chapter in which there are actually elected delegates that go. There's an agenda that's put together. There are items to be voted on that then get moved on to a regional encuentro, and then eventually to a national encuentro. And they really are the concerns of the Latino community right here, right now, in this place and time. And so, as you can imagine, there are many things on their minds. The whole issue of immigration, of DACA, of the different issues that are surrounding the status of families and undocumented aliens here in the United States. All those things are very high on their priority list. And, the thing is that what many of us don't understand is that this is a very complicated issue, that it's not so simple, cut, and dry. In these families, you have a mix of people who are citizens, who have a green card, have legal residency, and those who do not have residency but are in some type of process. All right, they're in the system and working their way through, and then others that aren't in the system at all. And you could have a situation, and it's not uncommon, to have the wife is documented and the husband is not, and the children are citizens. Or one situation where I had everybody in the family was naturalized, but there was one member that wasn't. And he was having trouble working his way through that situation. And so there isn't a one-size cookie-cutter solution to all this. And most of the time I spent on Saturday was with the young people. The group there was split into three. One group met dealing with immigration issues more particularly. The other was dealing with family issues, and then the third was the young adults, teenagers and young adults, and their concern. And I was really they asked me did I sign up for it. Well, I didn't, but I guess they figured he's the Salesian, put him with the young people, and that certainly made a lot of sense. And as I said in the introduction, I think that millennials, so-called millennials, I hate. Could do a whole other video on my hatred of these generational labels that we put on people, but I would digress too much. I digress enough already in these things. What you see also is the diversity within these young people. The fact that not all of them speak Spanish all that well. Most of them do. Most of them are bilingual perfectly. But there are many that really don't speak Spanish all that well. There are those that don't speak English all that well. There are those that I think, like many immigrant groups, are kind of caught between two cultures in a way. The Latino culture that they have at home and to a certain degree have at church, and then the kind of American culture that they have at school and on the outside, and how do they navigate through those things and through those realities. And so for me, it was really a very enriching experience, and something that really hit home for me in many ways. In realizing that these are young people that really are on fire with the Lord. They do want to be good disciples of Jesus Christ. They want to follow. But they also want to be led. They also want to be mentored. They are looking toward their clergy, toward their catechists, toward their youth leaders to help them along on their path. Many of the concerns they had were concerns that you would imagine that they would have, that fit quite in line with the millennial mindset. Inclusivity is very important to them. Diversity is very important to them. It's something they value. They also value family. They also value community. They also see the challenge of being Catholic in a secular culture and among friends oftentimes that don't share their faith, and sometimes may not be out and out hostile toward their faith, but kind of questioning why they're still Catholic when so many of them have sort of fallen away from the faith of their youth. They see technology as actually being a challenge. They see it themselves, that while certainly things like cell phones and computers like we were doing this presentation on are good, they're not evil or bad, at the same time they can be isolating. They can cut us off from other people. They can limit our ability to deal one with another. So these young people are not unaware. They are not unaware. I don't know if they're woke exactly, but they're definitely not unaware of the challenges that they face, and many of them, let's say, as someone older like myself sees in their lives. As I mentioned, Cardinal Supage came in the afternoon. He held a question and answer session really geared toward the young people. That was really who he was focusing toward, but told the whole group, very clearly that the Latino community in the Catholic Church is so vital, and that really they have an opportunity to really transform the church here in the United States. And I guess my own kind of personal commentary is that it should be a give and a take, obviously. There's many great things about the church here in the United States, a great heritage and Catholic tradition here in the States, brought here by immigrant groups from Ireland and Italy and Poland and all the other nations. And then now, yes, the Latino community that comes in and helps build on top of that and helps bring their devotions, their values to the church. And so that this is not something that should be seen as a challenge so much by the broader Catholic community, but really as an opportunity. Okay. What does the American church have to share, but what does also the American church need to be open to? And what gifts of the Spirit are these people coming from many different lands offering to us? And so, yeah, that kind of will wrap up my reflection on this. Again, there'll be a regional encuentro in Notre Dame. They're going to choose delegates from those that were present there on Saturday. And then there'll be a national gathering, I believe, in San Antonio. Could be wrong on that, but I believe it's San Antonio in the fall. And so I certainly continue to pray for the success of these encuentros, and I also really pray for our young people. They really are filled with faith. They really do want to follow the Lord. I think it's really up to those of us who are older to have the courage to lead, and yes, for them also to have the courage to be open and to listen themselves. So, hope God blesses all of you. I'll be back soon. I'll have something for you on the latest apostolic exhortation from the Holy Father, as well as something on the book of Revelation. God bless, and hopefully we'll be talking soon. Bye-bye now.